Hi, and welcome to our Retired Nomad Adventures.
I'm Retired Rick.
And I'm Daphne, and we are a retired couple who are traveling the world full-time with just a carry-on and a backpack, and we have a $5,000 a month budget that we try to stick to. So today we are in Siem Reap, Cambodia, and we've been here for a few weeks now, and whenever we're someplace new, we apply sort of a set list of criteria we have to determine whether or not we could live somewhere.
And when we say live somewhere, we're talking about 3 months at a time. We're looking for some place that we can come back for 1 to 3 months at a time and kind of spend the whole time here. And that's just our criteria for could we live here.
Right now, we don't spend much longer than a month anywhere. Well, we haven't spent longer than a month anywhere, but we would like to. We'd like to find a place that feels comfortable like that.
That's our goal, is to find 2 or 3 places that we can visit throughout the year.
Yeah, okay, and return to again and again.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we have our criteria, but before we get into that, one of the things you may be wondering is, why are we in Siem Reap? It certainly wasn't on our radar, and Cambodia wasn't a place that we had on our bucket list of places to visit. But we knew we wanted to go to Thailand, and we knew we wanted to go to Vietnam, and Cambodia is right in the middle. Also, when we travel, we like to travel for about 5 months at a time, and then we return back to the United States for about a month. And so we had 5 months to play with, and we were doing 2 months in Thailand and 2 months in Vietnam, and because Cambodia was right in the middle, we thought,
what the heck?
Yeah, why not? And we had seen other YouTubers and been reading about Cambodia, and it seemed like Siem Reap seemed like a lovely place to be. It kind of, in my mind before we got here, I felt like it was going to have a similar vibe to Chiang Mai in Thailand.
Yes, at least a place to stop by and visit and see if it's is for us or not for us.
Yeah, okay.
At least have an opinion about it.
Right. So now that we've been here for a little bit of time, we feel like we can have an opinion and we can apply our criteria.
Yes.
So let's start with one thing that matters to us is the size of a place we're in. So the population for Siem Reap is
250,000 for Siem Reap,
yeah.
And I think for what do they describe it as, the population on the outskirts and everything is about 1 million.
Yeah, that's a lot, right? Yeah. In Siem Reap, we don't feel overwhelmed by the size of the city. There's a lot of tourists here, so there's probably as many tourists as there are Cambodian people.
Right.
But it doesn't feel overwhelming. It does feel like a right-sized city for us, with plenty to do and still enough elbow room to be able to breathe and walk around without it feeling too crowded.
Right, and being able to relax a little bit and just wind down. So
yeah. So for us, I feel like the city size feels good.
Yes.
Yeah. How about crime? So crime is something, so safety, when we say crime, the crime index here is very low. So when you look at sort of the stats, it stacks up really nicely. But really, we're wondering, like, how safe do we feel?
And the way we get our research is by just being out there. And we haven't felt unsafe since we've been here.
Not at all.
It's like any place else, you just, be careful of your surroundings, but it feels really safe and really comfortable, and we haven't had an issue.
And 95% of the population here is Buddhists, and so I feel like, like their practices and their beliefs are, so I'll apply a Western sort of theory to it, but that do unto others. And so I just feel like everybody is really very kind, very thoughtful, outgoingly nice. And
I agree.
Yeah, we haven't felt unsafe at all, except for once in a park with some monkeys. But that was not crime, and that was not people who was frightening me. So I would say that the crime and the safety level here feels really nice.
Yes.
Feels very good. The main industry is, of course, tourism, and then with all the tourists here, then also hospitality is a big way that the locals make their money.
Right.
Yeah. And then how about, here's a touchy subject. So how about the climate?
Climate plays a big part here in Siem Reap.
Yeah.
It is hot, and we are not even in the hot season. We were on an excursion, and someone described having 2 types of weather, hot and hotter, and we are in the hot season.
Yeah, so. Not even the hotter yet. So the time that is supposed to be the ideal to come is from November to February, and we came end of February, beginning of March. And we're from Southern California. We're used to the heat. We also have always had to travel in the summer months, and so we're used to going, places that during their hot season. The heat coupled with the humidity here has been prohibitive on some days from us even going out and doing things. So typically the days are 95 to 98 degrees Fahrenheit, And then the humidity is kind of off the charts. So the climate here really is a situation.
Yeah, and the climate dictates what you can do during the day. You either get stuff done in the morning or in the evening when the sun goes down, where it's a little more tolerable. It took us a few days to figure that out.
Yeah.
But this is an angry heat. It just beats down on you. You need to find some shade, but you need to be aware of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Don't be surprised. It is hot. It's doable, but you just have to be aware of it.
You're not going to wear your clothes twice.
No.
So climate is a factor for us, and we sort of chase the sun. We like it to be on the hotter versus cooler side, but this is a little bit to the extreme.
Yeah, you just have to be aware of it.
And then how about walkable? We don't rent a car wherever we go, so walkability really matters to us. And Siem Reap, would you call it walkable?
Yes, it's very walkable. Everything's, at least where we're at, where our hotel's at, is very close to everything.
Yeah, we're just on a side street, and so it's a little quieter. But the night market is a 5-minute walk.
Pub Street, 5-minute walk.
Yeah, so we're really close to everything. I'm also very surprised at how much there is to do here in Siem Reap. So in terms of being able to walk to places, there's plenty to be able to see and do. Just go out early in the morning or out in the evening. Many areas have really nice developed sidewalks. So there's lots of walking paths with bridges that take you across the river that kind of runs through town. There are some areas where you're walking on the street, so you kind of have to do that dance with the mopeds and the tuk-tuks and the cars.
But once you learn that dance, it's easy.
Yeah.
You just go.
Yeah. Yep. So I would say Siem Reap is very walkable.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then the other thing we look at is public transportation. And so for this time, there doesn't really seem to be a very developed public transportation system. Like there's not buses and trains and those kinds of things that, you hop on and hop off. But there are, if you can't get a tuk-tuk in Siem Reap,
there's something wrong with you.
So you can always get a tuk-tuk, and they're so inexpensive. If you're going anywhere local in town, you're going to pay $1 to $2 at the most. And if you even need to rent a tuk-tuk for the entire day, you're going to pay anywhere from $15 to $30. So very inexpensive for the tuk-tuks.
There's also Grab tuk-tuks. That's just like our Uber or the Grab app,
right,
where you've already paid and you call in the tuk-tuk and it's a Grab tuk-tuk.
Yeah, and then lots of people are renting the scooters.
Right.
Very inexpensive. Scooters are everywhere, and it's so interesting to see. So you see like everybody from kids who we think they certainly couldn't have a driver's license, but they're driving them, and maybe they do. And then also grandmothers, so young and old are out there driving the mopeds or the scooters, and that seems to be a real viable mode of transportation here.
Sometimes you just glance up and you think a dog is driving it because the dog has his paws up on the front of it. It looks like he's driving the little scooter.
Oh, we have to try to get a picture of that, because it is true. Like their little paws are right over. The owner's behind them, but everybody, the entire family might be on the moped together.
It makes for great pictures.
Yes. But I would say that public transportation, in terms of buses and trains and that kind of thing, is not really a developed system, but there's plenty of transportation options around.
Right.
Okay. And then how about proximity to airport? So any place we would want to be long term, we'd want to make sure we're within about an hour of an airport, so that we easy access in and out.
Well, it's easy access in and out to the airport. It's a brand new airport. But it was about a 45-minute to hour drive to our hotel. But we prearranged transportation, and it wasn't bad. For us it was nice, but you're still about 45 minutes out.
Yeah, and it's still within our parameters, right, though. And it's a big, brand new, beautiful airport. No crowds there at all. We were the only airplane there, and it sounds like there's only 4 or 5 flights that come in and out of here a day. So at least for right now, the congestion at the airport is non-existent, so you're able to quickly navigate through the airport, which also makes things easy.
Very easy to navigate.
Yeah, okay, so I'd say that checks that box.
Yes.
All right, then the next thing we want to know is what is there to do? We want to be able to do things when we're wherever we go, and I've been really surprised by Siem Reap. So there's so much to do just within the city proper, like within walking distance. Within walking distance, there's all kinds of temples local in the city that we can walk to and spend a day walking around and learning about. There's that pub street that we enjoy going to. So there's restaurants on Pub Street. There's also 50-cent beer on Pub Street.
That's an excursion in itself.
Let's see, what else? There's, within the town proper of Siem Reap, there's also an opportunity to learn about the history of Siem Reap. There's the Angkor Wat Museum, which we went to.
Right.
That was interesting. Also, the Killing Fields is here. So, again, learning about the history is important when you visit somewhere. And so that was a sobering experience to go there. There's also all kinds of local markets you can go to. There's street food you can enjoy. Of course, there's more massages, or just as many massages here as there are in spas,
right,
as there are in Thailand. So you could also take, have a relaxing afternoon somewhere. So anything else I'm missing local in the city?
No, the food scene is great. So
Yeah.
just being able to relax, go out, have a meal, and have a beer with your meal, or just sit back and relax for an hour or 2 hours. It's
Watch the world. Yeah, people watch. I guess is something that we really do enjoy doing.
It's very fascinating to be able to do that here.
Yeah. And then also within an hour of here, there's so many different day trips you can go on. So we went on a Kolin mountain tour that included the waterfalls and 1,000 lingas. Yes, and that was an amazing full day tour, and one that I would say if you are in Siem Reap, don't miss that one. That was really a great one. And then, of course, everybody comes to Siem Reap to go to Angkor Wat, so it's the largest religious site in the world, and those temples there were beautiful.
Right.
And we took a full day tour. We went on a big bus. It wasn't a small group tour. It was I think there were probably 20 people on the bus with us. But our tour guide went with us and took us to all the different locations. So that was a beautiful full day tour. And then we even have a bike tour scheduled for tomorrow where we can bike through the countryside. So there are plenty more options available in terms of places you can go to that are within an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you mentioned a little bit about the food scene, and I was so surprised by the food here. When we went to Thailand, we knew we loved Thai food, and we were so excited, and we were not disappointed.
The only reference we had to Cambodia food is when we flew in here, we prearranged transportation to our hotel, and I asked the driver, what should we eat? And he said, you have to try the amok. And it's like a curry dish, so we tried the fish amok, and it's amazing. It was really
I've
good.
taken it as my personal challenge to try so it's kind of like a curry and a stew sort of mixed together, and you can get it with any kind of meat. So we always just get the fish amok. And every place we've gone, I've tried the fish amok, and I ranked them against each other. So we have one more place to go back to before we leave here that I think is my number one spot, and I'll share that with you. Actually, we'll share with you lots of different places to eat here, because every place we've gone, we want to go back to again and again, and we have to force ourselves to go other places. In fact, we've created a little, we've got names of restaurants on little pieces of paper that we draw from each day to figure out where we're going to go to, because we're so tempted to go back to other places, because the food here has really just been delicious.
And the other thing about the food is you have the traditional Cambodian food, but then once you eat a lot of something, you want something else. So we might want something from back home, and there was a Mexican restaurant that is just fantastic. There's an Italian place that's just fantastic. With the pizza and the pasta, we have not gone wrong going outside of eating Cambodian food, and it has really been good. I've been really surprised with the level of food here.
The quality. Yeah. And that's something also. So Cambodian food, we didn't know what to expect. We absolutely love it. It's very flavorful. It's not super spicy, but there's a rich, deep flavor to the food here. But usually when you get international food somewhere, it's not quite as good as home.
Kind of similar, but
and especially Mexican food coming from Southern California. We have a very specific kind of food we like, and we had great Mexican food, great Italian food, and then the Cambodian food was a real standout in terms of being able to enjoy our stay, because every day we look forward to getting our meals.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is it near water? That's something we always ask, and the answer is no.
Not our kind of water. There's a river that runs through it, but it's kind of stagnant. You can't swim in it. It's really not our type of water.
Yeah, we really look for a place that we can lay out, we can go swimming, and so the answer to that is just a simple no.
Simple no.
Yeah, okay. And then healthcare in Siem Reap, and so something else that does concern us as we continue to get older, thankfully, is our proximity to quality healthcare. And there are hospitals in Cambodia, but in speaking to the Cambodian people, They're not happy with the healthcare that is provided here, whether you're paying out of pocket for it or not. And they say that typically if you need some real medical care, they're probably going to fly you to Thailand. And so that's a negative for us because we like to know, it feels good to know that if something goes wrong, that quick and easy, we have access to good quality health care. And it sounds like there is health care available, but the quality level maybe isn't what you would prefer.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, cost of living here. And so another standout for us here, for us as travelers here, the cost of living is very inexpensive.
Yeah, the food and everything is very expensive as travelers. And it's like when you say cost of living, you're like, oh yeah, it's super cheap here.
It very much is. So you could rent a one-bedroom apartment for $300 to $600 a month.
Right.
We watched a few videos to take a look at what some of those places would look like, and they look great. Fun. Yeah. Our place that we're staying at the Hari Residence Inn and Spa, and so it's a really beautiful hotel, and that is $1,354 for 22 nights. So that's great.
And that's as travelers, so we can't get these $300 a month benefits unless we sign a lease. So we'd have to be here long term.
Yeah, and also we chose some place that we felt like would be a respite in the middle of the city because we didn't know what to expect. And there's a beautiful rooftop pool here. We get breakfast included every day.
We get spoiled here.
This is a very nice hotel. So even saying that, at a very beautiful, top-notch hotel, that's not a bad cost.
Yes.
Let's see, meals. So you can get street food for $2 to $5. Our meals typically are costing us $10 to $20 for both of us. Would you say?
Yeah.
And then if we got some more expensive meals, then we're looking at about $30.
Closer to 30 and that's for two people.
Yeah. Drinks. So a local beer cost about $1.
Unless you go to the pizza place that advertise 50-cent draft beer.
And they really mean it.
And they really mean it.
They mean it. A glass of wine at a restaurant is about $4. A large iced coffee is about $1. And sodas at a restaurant really range from $1 to $2. And then we've been getting fruit smoothies here again, which we love. And they're about $1 to $1.25. And they're
fantastic.
Yes. Groceries, we haven't bought groceries. We're in a hotel room and we can't cook, and we get free breakfast included, so we are only eating out. But a cost of bread is about $1, and a dozen eggs are about $2. You can get a massage for an hour for about $10. Right. And then laundry is also fantastic. So you can get a kilogram of laundry done for about $1.
For $1.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. So what would you say is the overall vibe here in Siem Reap?
The vibe is relaxing. The people are super kind. They'll smile at you for no reason. You smile back. They'll wave. It's a really nice vibe, but it's also poor. It's a poor country, and you can see that everywhere. Yeah,
I feel like the Cambodian people work really hard. Like life is not easy here for them, and so it's a little hard as a traveler to be here and to be able to experience so much luxury and know that life is hard for the people who are here. And it's hard for the people who are here, and they are, I think they are the friendliest people we have. Now Rick wants to remind me how friendly the people in Thailand were, and they really were, but I don't know, there's something extra about the people here in Cambodia. They are so friendly and outgoing and really, really kind.
Yes.
Yeah. Something in terms of vibe, one thing that as travelers we sometimes miss is a sense of community. And we were lucky enough when we were in Thailand that through the YouTube channel, several people had reached out to us to say, hey, I think we're going to be in where you're at the same time. Can we get together? And we always say yes because we love that. But here we didn't have that happen. And so I just want to say to anybody that when you're somewhere, log yourself into the Facebook groups and see if you can't meet up with some people. So we've met up with three different times. We've met up with people, and it's been so wonderful to connect with people who are sort of doing something similar as you, and to be able to create that sense of community while you're someplace so far from home.
And with that, you find out what they're doing in their life, whatever it may be, just traveling or just on vacation, but you kind of get a sense of where they've been, and it might be someplace that you want to go, and you get great ideas.
Yeah. And then get to establish hopefully longer term connections, but at least while you're somewhere, it brings a little bit of sense of community and home to you when you're so far away.
Yep.
Okay. How about this burning question then? Could we live here? Could you live here?
Could we live here? I have to be honest, no. I could visit. I'm glad I came here. I'm glad we've been here for as long as we have. But could we live here would be a no for me.
Yeah, for me too. The heat is oppressive, so I don't know that I can handle the heat. And with the heat and humidity, we've also been bitten by bugs more than we have anywhere else. And we've gone through, we're trying all the different bug sprays. We do all the things, and the bugs just really like us here in a way they haven't liked us anywhere else. And that makes things uncomfortable too. For me, also the medical piece plays with my mind a little bit, and not feeling secure and confident that if something happened quickly and easily, we could access great medical care.
Right, but again, the people are so wonderful. The food is fantastic. So to visit here is a must. To live here, I don't see us coming back to spend more than a month here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, all right. So that's our answer. The answer for Siem Reap, Cambodia is a no to living here longer than a month.
Right.
Yep. Okay, so we hope that you join us next week as we really take a look at our budget here, and we'll detail you through everything we spent money on and figure out if we were able to come in at or under our $5,000 a month budget. We hope to see you then. Bye.